911 Global Meds Disclaimer. This video and any contents herein are posted on this YouTube channel of 911 Globe Meds for informational and educational purposes only. Please see the detailed video contents disclaimer and the copyright disclaimer in the text section below.
Another early morning, another ceremony to bid health workers farewell. Last week, a troop of Cuban doctors were dispatched to Italy. This week, medical professionals have been sent throughout the Caribbean, to Suriname, Grenada, Jamaica, and today, St. Kitts.
Medicine you are proposing, say scientists are trying to discover a medicine against coronavirus. So one maybe would be something which will block the RNA, the transmission of the information contained. The other might be to create the proteins which will create such an adverse conditions there that in spite of the RNA carrying that information, it won't be able to replicate. Yeah. So would the different approaches appear at this level, whether you work through attacking the information, the idea which is in the RNA, or the other material conditions that are there, which could be the proteins, can we think along these lines?
So everything is tried. So all the drugs which are used as antivirals, targets these different components of the virus. For example, yesterday I told about this protein called the RDRP, the RNA dependent RNA polymerase, which copies the RNA. RDRP, RNA dependent RNA polymerase, which copies the RNA to produce the RNA copies. Now, the one of the drugs, targets this RDRP, and this stops the copying of the RNA. For example, the drug which has been so hugely successful in combating HIV, the AIDS, a virus, that is a drug which stops the RDRP. It prevents the RNA from getting copied. On the other hand, there can be a drug.
What is this drug called? The HIV drug you said?
It is called as AZT. AZT. So this is successful in stopping the HIV RNA from getting copied. Now, in the other case, you also have drugs. For example, the drug which is used against influenza virus, which is now being used for this virus also, that is targeted against another protein which is called as a protease. So that actually stops the proteins from getting produced. So
sorry, that's also in HIV?
No, that is in influenza virus. That is now being tried out in this one also, in coronavirus also.
Oh, I see.
So there are various types of treatments. So currently for the coronavirus, the type of treatments which are being tried out, targets this multiple, types of proteins in the coronavirus. None of them target the RNA. All of them target different proteins.
I see. Okay.
All right. Or you must have heard about this drug which is called as hydroxychloroquine, which
that's right.
Which was being told that this is being used as something in the coronavirus. What that does is basically, as I said, that the coronavirus enters into the cell. So it enters into a cell in the form of a pocket. And inside the pocket, the acidity of the pocket is important to allow the viral proteins to function. Now, hydroxychloroquine goes and changes the acidity of this pocket.
Oh, I see.
And can prevent the virus from the viral proteins actually function.
And this pocket is inside which cell? This pocket?
The pneumocyte. This pneumocyte.
Oh, pneumocyte. Okay, the type of pneumocyte. Yeah.
So the virus goes into a pocket. This thing is called technically as an endosome. So the endosome has a particular acidity. This acidity can be changed with this thing with hydroxychloroquine, and this can affect again the replication of the virus. So these are all different strategies. So there is nothing like a single strategy which will work against a virus.
Okay.
Most cases, what is tried is a combination of such drugs.
Okay.
So all this is being tried against the coronavirus. Even so currently like the drugs which are being used. One is this RNA polymerase, as I said. So this drug is called as remdesivir. So this is what is being used. Hydroxychloroquine, as I said, is being used to reduce the acidity in these endosomes. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there are these two drugs which were targeted against the protease, as I said, lopinavir and ritonavir. This has been tried against the protease. And then there is also drugs which affects this ACE2, this receptor.
That one, which attracts the RNA,
Right, yeah. So this is called as camostat, this drug. This is also being tried out. Camostat. And then there is a drug which is being used, which was actually developed by scientists in Cuba, actually interferon beta.
Wonderful. Finally we are into Cuba,
that is also being used. Interferon beta, but interferon beta, this is interferon beta 2, this is not directly targeting the virus. What it does, basically it regulates the body's response to the virus.
Okay. Well, that looks like a different approach now, a different methodology.
Yeah, so that is also there, but we do not know how well this will function against this particular virus. So it's a non-specific antiviral, Peter.
I love that term, non-specific. It takes us out of the gene now, finally.
No, it also affects genes, but it affects genes in the human body, not in not the viral genes.
Okay.
So it also affects genes, but it affects the human body's immune system.
I see. So non-specific. Okay. So what would be how is it different from the specific? What does the specific do? I mean, it will only target specific
this particular
micro level things.
Particular virus, for example. So a specific antiviral will specifically target a virus, whereas a non-specific antiviral will sort of see, our body also has antiviral defenses. So a non-specific antiviral will go and work with this body's non-specific antiviral defenses, so which will start getting activated whenever a virus infects. So interferons are part of this, our antiviral defense system.
Okay. I see.
Okay, so interferons will specifically target the virus. So the idea is that you use drugs which will target both the virus and the host.
I see. So the Cuba. So tell us more about the Cuba medicine. So it will target. It will strengthen the immune system of the host. That's how it works, rather than targeting the virus.
It doesn't really strengthen the immune system. What it does, it mounts an immune response. So basically, something like it is the antiviral. Our body has an immune system, and the immune system is again two parts of the immune system. One is called the innate immunity. The other is called the adaptive immunity. The innate immunity is our body's first line of defense against any infection.
That's right. Yeah.
So whenever we get infected by any virus or any bacteria or any type of pathogenic organism, some cells in our body gets activated. Okay, and then they produce substances which specifically now activate cells which goes and kills that bacteria or viruses. Okay. Now one of the substances is this interferon. So normally our body's own cells produce it. All right. And these cells go and activate what the cells which we call as natural killer cells, which go and kill the viruses. Now, if interferon is given from outside to our body also, this will also activate our innate immune system. So this thing was developed by one of these things was developed by Cuban scientists, interferon beta 2, which if given to our body will activate our natural killer cells, which can then go and kill the virus.
Okay. How old is this interferon medicine?
Yeah, this is from the 1970s actually.
From back then? Okay. I was
It
under
was
the impression that this is all microbiology and biotechnology, and it could not have been so developed back then, not just in Cuba, but also in other countries, because I thought it was...
Cuba developed a very strong biotechnology research and production system. So they have a number of very good biotechnology products. So one of this is interferon beta 2.
So in the 1970s, that's like 40...
That's when they started this research project. They started producing this finally at commercial scale in 1980s.
Okay. And this kind of research in Cuba, which gave us interferon, that doesn't have anything to do with the Human Genome Project and the kind of thing that Levantine is critiquing, right?
No, it's also part of it is also part of the same thing, because the interferon is also produced by some gene in our body. So what the Cubans did, they could take the gene from the human body, from human cells, and put it in bacteria and produce this protein interferon beta in bacteria in large quantities.
Okay. I see.
And then they could isolate and purify this. This is also protein, and then then it can be injected into humans again. So this also comes from a human gene.
Oh, I see. So this interferon has already been used then for other ailments.
It is used quite widely as an antiviral drug, as a non-specific antiviral drug.
So even in like the kind of viral fever that we get, the ordinary viral fever, this can be used, you mean?
It is not required. It is this also has this our innate immune system is actually a double-edged sword. Okay, so it is our primary protective response to any infection or injury, because it kills this infectious pathogens. But if it gets too strong, then it kills our own tissues also. So this is also a dialectical system.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see.
So it
Actually, this reminds me, when I was just surfing the net, I found one explanation saying that one of the things that makes coronavirus so lethal is that the coronavirus is able to activate our immune system, which in turn does further damage to our body, apparently.
Right. Yeah. This is called as a cytokine storm. That is what it is called technically. So it creates cytokine.
Okay. Cytokine. Yeah.
It's called
Something
a cytokine.
like kinetic energy or something. Cytokine.
Cytokines were originally called in that way because they're called cytokinesis. Cytokinesis means movement of cells. So basically, when a virus infects a certain part of the body, cells from the blood move out and go to that site of infection. So this process is called as cytokinesis, right?
Oh, I see.
And this
So what does the coronavirus do? That way it attracts all the cells and starts infecting all of that?
Right, yeah.
My
To come
God.
and target and attack that cell which is getting infected.
My God. This is like using some guerrilla warfare, If you're weak, you get the enemy out of their den and then you kill them.
Right, yeah. So this keeps happening all the time. So now, but the thing is that if you give something like interferon beta, this will activate the cytokine storm in some way. But if it becomes very strong, becomes very uncontrolled, then it can damage the body itself. Therefore, it has to be given very carefully. It should not be given in, our daily influenza or things like that. Because then it can cause more harm than good.